Right, we were talking there about Sunderland's draw against Arsenal. We're going to be joined by an Arsenal fan shortly. But on Sunderland, Tim, did they show the rest of the Premier League how to play against Arsenal? Remember, it was only a draw. Sunderland didn't win. Yeah. But the commentator kept on saying how they haven't seen Arsenal this kind of fearful of a team this season.
They didn't go away anywhere, did they? You know, and when they attack with numbers. You saw the amount of bodies in the box. When they have a set piece, they wait till the action's finished. You know, not running back, you know, scared to defend before they complete. You know, they keep the ball alive. They keep it in the dangerous areas. They load the box up. They're physical with the Arsenal players. They're not scared at all. And we're talking about an Arsenal team that didn't play bad. You know, it's not as if Arsenal played bad. It's just that they never went anywhere. It didn't go away. You know, normally teams put their head down and think, oh, that's it. Now they're going to go ahead and they're going to win. Never say die attitude. With the fan support, you know, it would put the wind in their sails. And when they get set pieces, they keep like I say, if they don't win the first one, they win the second one. They keep it alive. Not a team in the world wants to be under pressure with 6 or 7 bodies from the opposition in their box, challenging for every ball like their lives depend on it. And not only that, when they get themselves level, Dan Ballard typifies what Sunderland are all about with that block at the last seconds of the game. Puts his body on the line for the cause, for the team, for the badge. That's exactly what you need if you want to stay in the Premier League. They're staying in the Premier League. I've told you for a month now. There's no danger they will get. Now they have to start looking upwards. Where can they actually finish? What they are at the moment is party poopers. And that's great. To beat the big teams, who would have thought they could get a draw off Arsenal? No one's getting anywhere near Arsenal. To score a goal against Arsenal is bad enough. You know, they've scored 2 against them. So, yeah, it should be encouraging for the rest. But who's going to be brave enough to be able to do that? Reggie Lebris has actually been brave enough to say, you know what, guys, when we get the ball in the final third, we wait till the action's over before we start worrying about them attacking us.
What did you know about Regis Lebris when he took the Sunderland job?
Zero.
And how impressed are you with him now?
Well, you can only judge him what he's done. He's been outstanding with the record where he's taken him to the Premier League and to be competitive in the Premier League. I think their head of recruitment should be knighted as well. Incredible signings what they've made. For me, Granit Xhaka is the signing of the summer. I know we've talked about that on here before. It's just a leader. It's not only what he gives you on the pitch, see him yesterday, it's what he gives you every single day on the training pitch and telling people the demands of how to play in the Premier League. We're talking about a foreign lad who's been here for many years and played at the top end of the Premier League, but now he's willing to go to Sunderland to operate, which he would have thought at the bottom of the league, but no, hasn't materialised like that. He's looking mid-table, upwards, and incredible where they are at the moment. Nosebleeds material for Sunderland.
Yeah, so with Dan Ballard, someone sent me a tweet that said, if an asteroid was heading to Earth, just put Dan Ballard in front of it and he'll head it away. I think it was on Paddy Power. And
he was at Arsenal as a kid.
He was at Arsenal. How worrying is it for Arsenal that they did drop points? So they haven't dropped many this season. And could this be the start of a drop-off? We've got their next 5 fixtures. Actually, so the Sunderland game was 2-2, but then Tottenham at home, that's a
drop-off.
Yeah. Bayern Munich in the Champions League, then Chelsea away, you never know what you're going to get from them. Brentford are doing a lot better than everyone expected, and Villa are now back on form. They're their next 5. Will there be any concerns from Arteta at the moment?
No concern. Like I say, the performance was good. I thought the attitude was good. It's just a team, you have to give them credit sometimes. Hold your hands up and say, you know, they went for it and they got what they deserved, which was a point in the end. Just for sheer endeavour and quality along the way. But Arsenal won't panic. They won't panic. I think they're in a great position. Their only concern at the moment is when they watched the football yesterday, would have saw Man City looking like something like their best. You know, I'm not sure they're actually there yet. But if Haaland keeps himself fit, Rodri comes back into the team, they will be looking in the wing mirrors, and it won't be for a red shirt. It will be for a light blue one, in my opinion.
OK, well, let's bring in an Arsenal fan now and speak to Christian Ty. Good morning to you, Christian. Have you got any worries at all at this stage, having dropped points on Saturday?
I wouldn't say worries, but I never thought it was going to be a walk in the park. Such a competitive league, so many teams that have so much quality, believe they can win it, you know, great managers. And you can never write them off. You know, a manager like Pep Guardiola is always going to have a plan. People calling City a one-man team. Well, I think we're seeing that they're definitely not that now. Jeremy Doku with a fantastic performance yesterday. What he's now getting out of Nico Gonzalez, obviously in Rodri's absence, is great. And then there's also other teams. I know Liverpool are looking maybe far away from it now, but they could definitely go on a run with the quality they have. They have experience as well of obviously winning the title.
Are you saying it's still at least a 3-horse race and not 2?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's still early. What have we played? 11 games? Like, anything can change. Just a few weeks ago, Liverpool were 5 points ahead. People were saying, it's theirs to lose. Now they're 8 points behind, and everyone's saying they're out of it. So it can still change around. I just think as Arsenal, we just keep focusing on our job. I know we had a draw. People say it's a bad result. People say it's a point gained, a point lost. Either way you look at it, you just got to not lose the momentum. It's a tough place to go. Anyone can go there this season and drop points. They got, a good manager, good players. We know all about Granit Xhaka. I was very disappointed after the game because I thought we played well enough in the game, especially in the second half, to take all 3 points. And then a goal that you wouldn't, associate with Arsenal conceding. A ball into the box, not winning the first contact, and then David Raya rushing out. So I was disappointed, but in hindsight, we've won 10 in a row, 8 clean sheets in a row. A draw away from home is not the end of the world. So yeah, they got to keep their heads up and keep going.
And for the last 2 games, you actually haven't had a fit striker. Okay, you had a makeshift striker for the last 2 games, but you've still scored 5 goals. So when Arsenal have been praised for their squad depth throughout the season, that's an area where actually you've got no one, but you've still scored 5 goals in that time, and your makeshift striker's got 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, Mikel Merino, he's like the perfect backup to a backup to a backup. We've got obviously Jesus, Havertz, and Gyökeres all out. And somehow this guy, he's maybe a defensive midfielder, or I don't know what he is now. I think he was a defensive midfielder originally. I think Arteta turned him into a more attacking midfielder, obviously turned him into a striker. He's an attacking midfielder for Spain. But this guy can just come in and put numbers on the board. And yeah, he came in obviously in the Champions League, scored 2 goals. Came in last season, scored some big goals, Real Madrid. But we do have, injury problems going forward. I think we've got 7 injured players. We've got Madueke, Jesus, Havertz, Gyökeres, Martinelli, Odergard, or 6. I don't know if I'm missing one in there. But, to still be top of the league, 26 points, 4 clear of City, and 8 ahead of Liverpool at this point, I think is still impressive. If you'd offered me this before the season, you're going to be 4 clear after 11 games played going into that international break, I would have taken it. So
Christian,
it's not all doom and gloom.
Christian, I always say it's really hard for a London team to win the Premier League because of the derbies. You've got 2 derbies coming up after the international break, Tottenham and Chelsea. If you win them 2 games, I think it gives you the confidence to really, really go ahead and you're off the bridle then, mate, and I think you're away. Would you not agree with that? But to lose them 2 games, which possibly might happen, pal, I'll just put that in your head. That would be an absolute disaster, and that'd be more than dropping 6 points.
Yeah, I agree, it would be a disaster. I don't think we'll lose both. I think we're good enough to win both. I think we should be definitely aiming to beat Spurs at home. No disrespect to them, but like I say, it's a game.
Spurs are better away, you know that.
3 points. They're better away, but usually when they come to the Emirates, they struggle. So hopefully it's more of the same. Like I say, I think we're more than good enough to beat Spurs at home. Chelsea away will be tough, but again, I think you could take all 3 points. I think defensively they struggled this season. Sunderland went to Stamford Bridge and won. They're very inconsistent. But then on the other hand, you could say Liverpool went there and Chelsea beat them. So it depends what Chelsea turn up. But I do think if Arsenal turn up, if we play at 90, 100%, there's not a team in the league we can't beat this season. It's just about being on it, not conceding stupid goals like I think we did against Sunderland. The first goal, long ball into the box, we don't get contact on it, let it bounces around Ballard with a great strike. And then the second one, a ball into the box, we don't get the first contact. Zubimendi, I think, misses out on the header. And then, David Raya comes rushing out. 2 avoidable goals. So I think they'll be looking at that and they won't, it's not like we had a terrible performance where we fell apart. It was 2 moments where we conceded 2 goals. We're much better in that second half. Just don't let it affect you too much.
So who's the competition now? City or Liverpool? Or someone else?
At this moment in time, you'd have to say Manchester City, looking at the league table. And looking at their manager, looking at Haaland, Doku, obviously Rodri to come back into the team. Defensively, they look a bit better. I think O'Reilly's been a revelation at left back now in the England squads. Even Mateus Nunes, not necessarily a player that I think a lot of people rated as a right back. He's looking like a top player now. So, and Donnarumma in goal, I think has been a massive plus to them. So you'd have to say Manchester City at this point in time, but I'm not writing anyone off. It's still very early.
Right, Tim. So maybe Arsenal will be worrying about Manchester City. What do you think about their title credentials?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, how can you not? Serial winners of the Premier League, load of experience of players having done it before. Certainly the best manager, my opinion, the best coach we've ever seen in the Premier League. And it looks like he's got the flavour again. The spark in his eye. It's his 1000th game there. It just looked like it was his first game. I mean, it's just the energy what he exudes there, and his team seem to have that cohesion, and they look like they've clicked now. So, yeah, it's ominous.
You must agree with what Roy Keane said, because he actually said Pep Guardiola looks like he's got his spark back.
Yeah.
Do you see what he means by that?
Yeah, I do, yeah. And I think it's when you get your spark back, you don't get your spark back when your team's playing poorly. When your team's actually performing to how you want them to play against the champions like that, it was a statement win. I mean, he sat him out there. He had the game plan perfectly right to let Konate come out with the ball. Every time he tried to play it into midfield, they nicked it off him. The press was very aggressive. They got the ball into wide areas. Doku was like on fire like I've never seen him before. You got Erlen, who's occupying Virgil van Dijk and Konate. Nico Gonzalez in the midfield was like dictating the play with Bernardo Silva. Looked like he was back to something of his best. And they look solid at the back. They've got a goalkeeper in Donnarumma who's for me, one of the best and like a calming influence. So it all looks good for them at the moment. They're doing it without Rodri. And we said last year they could not win anything without Rodri. Well, they're winning at the moment without him. When he's back and firing on all cylinders, you have to give him a real opportunity. 4 points now is nothing.
Is that one of the most impressive things about this, is that they are doing it without Rodri, despite all of those questions last season?
Yeah, I think so. I think they've answered them questions. Difficult. When someone's coming in, like Nico Gonzalez, coming into the league, you think, yeah, Rodri, you're going to miss him. Of course you are. But now he's got used to it. He's played the 40 games or whatever he's played now, and he's ready to go, and it looks like he's up to speed. But when everyone's playing they were so fluid. The rotation in the midfield areas, the fullbacks getting forward at the right time. When someone goes, they fill up holes. It was just a well-coached side what we looked at, and it wasn't like a team would just get the ball forward to Erlen and hope he wins. And like we have seen that. They've stumbled over the line sometimes. Erlen's just got them across the line. Now they look fluid, and they look like a real team with a real structure, and they played out from the back with ease against an aggressive press, what Liverpool have. But they had no answer to it.
On Friday, I asked a question to Jay Bothroyd and to a Manchester City fan who we had on the show, and I was told this question was a stupid question, and my job was at risk for this question. So I'm going to just tweak it a little bit. It was, would this be Pep's greatest achievement as a manager if he was to win the title this season? Now, my point is that last season, they were nowhere near it. This season, Arsenal have been much, much better. Against Liverpool are in it as well. And that's the point, is it what the turnaround this would be if Manchester City were to win it? Would it be one of his best?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's a fair question. I don't think your job should be at risk at all. I just feel that it's a very good question because he's had to integrate and build a new team. The age of this group, what he's got there now, he's got a few more to go. He's got a few more to drip in and out, but he won't risk that by losing football matches, but he'll put them in at the right time. Sir Alex Ferguson has done it for years. He built teams but still won. He wants to do that as well. He's done it in the past and he will do it again. Give him the opportunity, Pep Guardiola, to build a team and then win again. He's not interested in just taking part. He wants to win. That's what he's done all of his 1,000 games. I mean, when you look, it's incredible, his record. It's just fantastic, but he does make players better. Whoever goes into him, I think they get actually paid by Man City for the best teacher in the world to make them better. They should be paying him. They should be paying him or learning from him. Because loads of these players who he's managed, they all turn into be good coaches because they all try and emulate what he's got. I'm not sure they can ever do that because it's going to be an impossible task. This guy is a genius. And the boys are absolutely right. I heard Gary there, or it might have been Jamie, saying when it comes to March, April, that is when it tells. I can tell you my own experience. You can get yourself, you can jockey for position. That is when it starts, because that is when it starts getting nervy. That's when you start seeing the finishing line. They've been there, they've done it, they've seen the finishing line. Liverpool have done that. I personally think they're going to be too far behind. Arsenal haven't yet. So that's when they might start getting a little bit nervy.
Right, well, Sky Sports are partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. If you want to represent your club, scan the QR code here or visit the Sky Sports app for more details. Manchester City supporter Aston Buckley is with us now. Aston, hello to you. Big win on Super Sunday. Was it a statement win?
Definitely a statement win. I mean, Liverpool are champions of England, aren't they? They're current champions no matter what form they've been in. And City seemed to... It was the most comfortable game against Liverpool I can remember for quite a long while. I mean, City 17 shots to Liverpool 7. The pressing structure really worked. Like Tim was saying, City sort of cut Van Dijk out of the build-up. Kanate was left on the ball, and City really did dominate the game. Liverpool had that chance. I mean, if Van Dijk's goal isn't disallowed, which I know is a bit of a contentious decision, then maybe the game's a little bit different. But I don't think it would have done. I think City still would have gone on and won that game comfortably. You've
always been quite confident about Manchester City's chances this season. Are you as confident as you have been after that win?
Yeah, I'm definitely, I think after that win, more confident than I was maybe the last time when we spoke about it. I mean, a lot of people were doubting City, weren't they? People were saying City aren't the title race. It's Liverpool versus Arsenal. City don't look like the team they were. I think that's changed now. You know, Pep Guardiola, we're talking about rebuilding the side. Has he ever rebuilt a team and made it into a title-winning team when he's already had the players there from years gone past, Pellegrini players, Mancini players and so on? He's done that now. He's rebuilt a City side with all his players, not a single player left now from previous eras. And I do think City now are looking at Arsenal and thinking we can catch it. They've done it before in the past. History's proven that. I think Arsenal start to worry.
Aston, you know my opinion on this? I think it's as simple as this. I think there's a lot of difficult games for both Arsenal and Man City, but the head-to-head are going to be huge. Huge games of football. Whoever comes out on top in the head-to-head, in my opinion, might go on to win this Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that before, haven't we? And many times it's happened before. Either Arsenal managed to get a draw, and they've played for a draw at the Etihad. We saw that, and that didn't work in their favour. Or City have completely blown them out of the water. I remember the 4-1 win at the Etihad, where that came into a game. I was worried at that one. I thought, this is a game where the head-to-head is going to decide the title. It's either City or Arsenal, and I think that Arsenal might just get a result at the Etihad, and City beat them 4-1 easily. So I think when the pressure's on, City have proven from past experiences they know what to do. They've been in this situation. Arsenal haven't proven themselves yet. I mean, if they prove themselves this season, then great, maybe that'll help them in the future. But at the moment, I think it is in City's favour.
Well, the game at the Etihad is until the 18th of April. In fact, it's the 6th last game of the season, which is a great time in terms of a head-to-head in the title race. But
it is for Man City, because they've done it before.
And Arsenal away from home for that one as well. But Arsenal do look better than they have done in recent seasons, though, Aston. Does that worry you?
Yeah, I mean, they do look really good, don't they? But I mean, this idea that this sort of the team that you can't beat them, you can't score against Arsenal. Sunderland scored 2 against them on the weekend, so there obviously is weaknesses in the Arsenal side. I think everyone always says the weakness is a mental issue with Arsenal. You know, they get to the final stages, and that's where they struggle. Whether they've sort of sorted that this season under Arteta, I don't know. I think just everything's in City's favour, how things have happened in the past. I don't see City sort of crumbling at the end. We know City can go and win 13 games in a row. We know they can do it. They've done it how many times now? Yeah. And I think that really does work for City. Arsenal will be worried. And I know they've been good so far this season. They've scored a lot of set pieces, which I don't know how sustainable that is. The same questions are asked about Erling Haaland, that if he scores all City's goals, how sustainable is it? But I think yesterday proved, well, Doku's picking up the goals. I mean, he was absolutely unbelievable yesterday at times. Jeremy Doku was unplayable. I think Conor Bradley had a fantastic game against Vinicius Junior, who was, a player considered for the Ballon d'Or at Real Madrid. And Doku just had him absolutely everywhere. He couldn't get anywhere near him. So I think if he keeps playing like that, keeps consistent, which is a bit of his issue, and his shooting can sometimes be a question, I think City will really stay close to Arsenal to the end.
How much... sorry, go on, Tim.
No, I was just going to say that Pep Guardiola will be telling them in private, all of his squad, that to stay in the conversation until March. He knows from experience that is the squeaky bum time. That is the time when people start playing in a different environment. It's completely different. Your mindset's different. I know from experience that you think, well, the finishing line's there. Could it be... Are we going to throw it away? I just think with that experience, what you'd be telling the lads, you need to just stay on the line, on that. You know, once you turn the bend, you start seeing the finishing line, and I think that experience might just be the difference between who wins it and who loses it.
Yeah, I mean, it's what Pep's done with the players he's brought in. I think a big difference you could see between Liverpool and City is the new signings. City's got signs of hit the ground running, really. They've all sort of performed already. Shirky's been great. Nico in the midfield. You know, we're not missing Rodri at the moment, which is crazy to say that. Whereas, like Liverpool's players, Wirtz, I mean, he was pretty poor yesterday, wasn't he? He got bullied a little bit. So it's what Pep does with the players that he brings in. It's what he can bring from the players. And it's those little tactical tweaks that he's happy to make. City don't play the same way every single time. I mean, we're used to Doku staying on the byline. The last few games and yesterday he was playing inside and causing havoc inside as well. So it's that you talk about him being the best manager in the world. I've always thought that. I think the past proves that. Who else has won 4 titles in a row? No one's done it. So the experience and everything is on City's side for that.